Okay, so for this design, we've got a background, which is the inside of the heart. And then we've got gel paint over top. Then it's matte coated only on those portions. And then we've got our topical or forefront designs, which are the sugar effects with a snowflake over there. So what we would do is we would prepare our tip. We would put our 2 coats of white gel polish. And then if it's not sticky, that's okay, because it allows us to chrome a bit better. Right, so at this stage we would grab our chrome powder and we would do a rub. Okay, you don't need to do the entire nail. You can just do the portion where we are going to show the inside of the heart. I would then take my makeup sponge and I would press that in, that chrome powder in. And this is where we take our top coat, which has a sticky layer. So this top coat has a sticky layer so that we don't have to buff in order to get the next layer to stick on. This one will dry with a sticky layer. Okay, and I'm going to top coat the entire nail. What this does is it protects the chrome underneath and it gives us a foundation to put the color on top of. So I'm just going to get more product out of my bottle here. Okay, and then we'll put a nice generous even layer. Be careful that this is not bumpy. I do find that when painting gel polish, before you put it into the lamp, you give it a few seconds just to self-level, so we can get that nice even gloss effect. There's no stripes from the brush in there. And then we will cure that for a full 60 seconds. At this time, you can get your palette and you can decant your original purple or your background color that you had used. Right, so we're done with the chrome. And I'm getting my palette and I'm just decanting that original color that we had used. Okay, so this one is slightly more technical, purely because of the heart, getting the heart nice and symmetrical, and we don't have the dotting tool to help us here, so that makes it a bit difficult. So I'm just cleaning off my brush, okay, with the lint free, and my brush is nice and clean. Okay, there we go. So remember, this still has a tacky or sticky layer on it so that the gel that we place on top can stick. Right, so here we would pick up some of our gel polish and we would create dots for our heart's outline. Okay, just to help make life a little bit simpler than trying to do guesswork. Okay, I would now go in and I would fill my background. And don't worry about perfecting the shape just as yet. We want to get our color on. Okay, you can also do this directly out of the soft gel purple bottle or whatever color you are going to use, if you feel more comfortable doing it that way. It's just going to get tricky when you come to the outline area. Okay. Try and get the polish as even as possible. Make sure to cap those edges so that you don't get shrinkage with your gel. Remember, this is just our first layer, so it might be slightly patchy. Okay, now I'm going to look at the symmetry of my heart, which is not very symmetrical at this stage. Okay, I'm going to take my clean brush with a touch of acetone, and I'm going to come in and clean out that negative space. Take off the excess acetone, because if there's too much on the brush, it's going to spread through your entire design. Okay, so now that I've cleaned out all of the negative space, I can come back in and start my outlining. Okay, I'm gonna go back in because I think this side is slightly too narrow. Okay, not perfect, but we're getting there. So this we're gonna cure for a full 60 seconds. And then we're gonna go in with our second layer of that original background color before we matte top coat around that. Okay, so now it is still a bit patchy, so we're going to come back in and we are going to fill in our background first. I want to do my background before I focus on sharpening my shape, making sure I'm capping my edges, taking a generous amount of product on my liner brush. Trying to get the application as even as possible. Apologies. There we go. Getting this color nice and opaque. That's very important. Okay. Your heart may get smaller as you are painting this because you probably, if you need to fix symmetry, and that is okay. I'm tilting it just so that I can get the glare off from the light above, so that I can check my shaping. Evening out that paint work. Okay, there we go. Cure that for a full 60 seconds. And then we'll be back with part 2 of finishing off the snail.